1, 2, 3, 4. I told you so. I told you. I told you so. I told you. Remember when I told you about 9/11? Remember when I told you about Building 7? Remember when I told you about the fluoride in the water? Yes, I did. Remember when I told you about the New World Order? Remember that? Remember when I told you about the chemtrails in the sky? Remember when I told you that NASA was full of lies? Remember when I told you about the ultra mind control? Well, I just want to say that I told you so, yeah. Remember when I told you about 432 hertz, that is, and what 440 can do to you? It hurts my ears. Remember when I told you about the vaccine agenda? Yes, I did. And that Michelle Obama is a transgender. Yes, he is. The dinosaur fraud, the climate change scam, and yes, Sandra Bullock is also a man. Remember when I told you that there ain't no clone? Well, I just want to say that I told you so. 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 Yeah. Remember when I told you about the TV flicker rate? And how it puts your brain in an alpha state? Remember when I told you about germ theory? Remember when I told you about gravity? Remember that? Remember when I told you about Paul McCartney? Remember when I told you about direct energy? Remember when I told you about Monsanto? Well, I just want to say that I told you so. 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 Yeah. Remember when I told you about the mainstream media? Your so-called celebrities and pedophilia. Remember that child trafficking and that adrenochrome? Remember when I told you about the Georgia Guidestone? Remember when I told you about the false flag operation? Remember when I told you about 5G radiation? Remember that I told you that? Well, I just want to say that I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Yeah, I told you so. Yeah. But you didn't listen. I told you so. I told you so.
We will be back in some form.
We have an army
of digital soldiers. Because this was an insurgency.
Hundreds dead, thousands infected across multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents? Well,
all the people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs, you are.
All right. I'll be Patriots out there kicking ass and taking names. Welcome to the party, folks, to PatriotPartyNews.com. I am your host, Chaz Carter, better known as Underground Patriot, coming to you live from the Wolf Den. Yep, we're here. Hey, give us a roll call. Let us know where you are watching us from. I see Alabama, Texas in the house. New York is in the house. Good to have you, New York. What's up, UK? Hello. Loud and clear. Plainview, Texas says Texas is in the house. North Carolina, what's up? Go Dogs. Georgia in that house. Alabama, Tennessee. Catching my breath for a second. Ozarks, Missouri just checked in. California's in the house. New Mexico's in the house. Texas is in the house. Oklahoma's in the house. Right? Ohio. There you are. Weatherford, Texas just kicked in the door. Oh, my God. And just knocked down the door in North Carolina. Pablo's in Texas. Greetings. Hello. Hi. England in the house. Awesome. Hey, we got a lot to cover today. You better brace yourselves. You better pack a lunch because we got a hell of a show today. And by the way, if you haven't already, you need to go to join.patriotshoot.com for free right now for the next 30 days. It's a free trial. You can kind of see what all the talk's all about, all the upgrades that we are doing. It doesn't matter if you live in Indiana or Texas or Virginia Beach. Woo! Okay? Get on over there to join.patriotshoot.com. I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. Hey, I got some announcements real quick. I'm going to let everybody know. First and foremost, this is where the cool cats go to get their daily intel, news, and bread. That's right. This is the updated platform of broadcasting, that is, 24/7. That's right. It's the PatriotPartyNews.com. We're working out some of the kinks on it, so bear with us. But you're going to see where it's a lot more user-friendly. And you're going to be able to go through, watch us live, obviously broadcasting from the underground because we've done some things because they're censoring. We have AI hunters, we just found out, that are going after us and they're censoring us anywhere and everywhere outside of our own platforms, okay? It's happening across the board. It's happening to a lot of others. We also found out that for others gets a pass. You know why? Because they're bought and paid by Israel. Let's get right down to it. Go to the PatriotPartyNews.com and go through a lot of the details. You can help us out. Donate to the cause. You can also check out our partners, which are some of them here. Here are the discount codes on them across the board. Pretty simple. Click on it. It'll take you right to where you need to go. Pretty awesome. Yeah, common sense isn't controversial. Not here. See, there you go. I like that. That's cool. So anyway, go to the PatriotPartyNews.com and soon PatriotPartyNews.com. I'm working on that as well to forward that. So we got that domain name now as well. But check out the site. Several ways to be able to support us. All right, I see the man, the myth, the legend is in the house. Let me go ahead and bring in Dallas. Punisher Dallas is in the house. Greetings and salutations. What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
Man, it ain't like we haven't been saying the same thing over and over again to some degree. And what keeps on happening? Well, let's see here. We got more war. We got the gas prices going out, craziness. And here's one thing, and this is a disclaimer, okay? If you don't want to know the truth, then do not watch us. Let me go ahead and say that. Okay, straight up. Because this is probably going to go against what you guys have been told from maybe other folks. And this is the common sense zone, okay? And where we're not going to throw hopium at you. There's not going to be a guessing game. It's going to be real hardcore facts. And I'm sorry if it goes against somebody told you something and their feelings are hurt and they're in the fetal position in the corner because they lead you to a dead end. Get ready. A bunch of those are coming, aren't they, Dallas?
Yeah, I just, the definition of faith is believing in something unseen, right? But I have faith in one entity, and that entity is Jesus Christ.
Amen.
That is the only place where I throw like this logic and caution to the wind and go, I'm going to have childlike faith, but I have so much to back it up with, right? Like it's not blind faith. It is verifiable, provable faith from my perspective, right? Now, I'm not going to tell anybody else how to believe or how to feel, but every other part of life, I don't conduct that way. I don't blindly trust. I don't blindly have faith. I don't blindly believe in anything, person, ideal. It's what can I see, taste, touch, feel? Like what is real? And I think that is where the kind of the divide is happening right now. Is there's a whole lot of people putting a whole lot of faith and blind faith and blind trust into a concept that, for all intents and purposes, is not what we were told it is or was or it's going to be, because all of the things that you can see, taste, touch, feel, and prove are saying the opposite. And I, so I agree with you. I'm going to share my truth. And, could I be wrong? Absolutely. But I'm also pointing out factual, provable, statistical anomalies that go against the alternative narrative. Does that make sense?
Yes, 100%. By the way, just to let everyone know, a security has gone out in Iraq because of all the craziness happening right now. Any type of U.S. citizens abroad, they are directing them into what they call the STEP program. And what the STEP program is to get your ass out of that country. Okay, that's pretty much what's going down. They're not telling you this on mainstream media because it goes against a lot of the narratives, bullshit, more or less, that we're being fed and told, which is not true. They're all in on it. It doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or a Republican. Majority of them, when it comes to Israel, they got their hand out, or they're compromised, or they're blackmailed, or they're dead. Hello. Go ask Charlie Kirk. I'll be here all day. So, yeah. And this is a trip. So, Dan Brazilian, dude, tell it like it is, like over the top craziness. I'll have to find the other one. Anyway, I'll find, I had it up here somewhere. Where's he at? It was, anyway, bottom line is they're trying to shut his accounts down at every freaking turn. And here, I'll just give you a little piece here of why they're trying to shut it down. Viewer discretion, please be advised on this. But, oh my goodness, brace yourself on this. And vote for him, by the way, because he is telling the truth.
Don't frame it as a Zionist problem, because I believe that it's a Jewish supremacy problem. And the reason I believe that is because Jewish supremacy has been causing problems since long before Israel's inception. And I think it's a religious issue. I think it's because they think that they're better than everybody, that they're chosen from God. Their religious texts, say that they're allowed to lie, cheat, and steal from Gentiles. It says that, Gentiles were basically like cattle to them. Not to mention, they believe that Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior for Christians, is burning in human shit in hell. The Virgin Mary's a whore, and that Christians are idol worshipers, and that's why they spit on them in Israel. So I look at this as a Jewish supremacy problem. And Zionism is kind of like an offshoot of that.
Yeah, he's telling the truth. No question about it. And because he's telling the truth, Dallas, watch this. Check this out. He posted this morning around 10 a.m., about 2 hours ago. He said, I've had attempts to gain access to my personal accounts and emails, my phone number, etc., every day for 2 weeks. They are hacking other people's account to gain access to mine with personal emails and DMs. They want this account offline. Of course they do, because he's telling the truth.
Well, and who runs? I mean, who runs social media? I mean, it's Elon Musk owns X, but who gave him all the money? I guarantee you, a big chunk of it came from Israel somehow, some way.
Yep.
The 44 billion or whatever he paid for the deal, but it's it's kind of like the porn industry. Like, you realize that Jewish men own and operate and run all of the porn sites, Pornhub.
But you do understand why, correct? You do understand that they have the capability. If you're somebody famous, if you're someone in a power position, and let's say you're online and you're weak and you go to some of these porn sites, guess what, Dallas? They're able to do craziness, turn on your phone, see you, and be able to have leverage that you do things that you think no one else can see. That's 100%.
But it's even more subtle than that, Chaz. It is a targeted attack on the Western Christian culture of Western society, because we are a Christian nation. We have been from our inception, no matter how you want to spin it or whatever. But it's just this is a part of World War II people don't want to admit. Adolf Hitler, the reason that he went after the Zionist Jews is because they had brought in pornography, they had brought in homosexuality, they had brought in bestiality, and were all the same things we're seeing right now in the United States. They were promoting it in the schools and into the children and into the young adult population. And that's why he, and not to mention usury, they came in, they loaned a bunch of money out, and they were charging the German people ungodly amounts of interest and bankrupting the country. That's why he went after the Jews and the Zionist Jews, because they were the ones bringing the filth into the country. Tel Aviv is about to have the largest gay LGBTQ plus RRRAY festival in the world. In the world, Chaz. Don't you find that a little bit odd that a country that's smaller than New Jersey has more homosexuals in it than almost the entire rest of the world combined? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't even make sense, because it completely goes against the Jewish religion. But they own Pornhub, and the first distributor of filmed pornography, Jewish guy. They own Tinder and all of the sex, all the hookup apps, and Grinder and all that stuff. And where's the one where the girls?
What is that? The one that Elon Musk is supposedly about to buy? OnlyFans, I think is the name.
OnlyFans. OnlyFans is owned and operated and controlled by Jewish men, and it is purely to do two things: one, compromise any and everyone, but more importantly, to the reason that it's been so prominent and so prevalent for the last 60 years, 70 years, is to degrade the nuclear family, the wedding bedroom, to degrade and break down sex between a man and a woman and a loving parents, and to corrupt Christians, because in the male world, the number one thing that men struggle with in general is pornography, because now with the advent of this stupid phone, you can get, I don't, that's not one of my vices. And I'm not saying I'm better or anything like that, because I have other vices. Pornography, not one of my vices. I stumble onto naked pictures of people on YouTube, on X, on Instagram. I'm like, holy, I didn't know you could put this on,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
whole
but-
time you're like, not interested, because that's what they do. It's
but
by
it pops
design.
up, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not looking for it. I'm not searching
Right.
it, but somehow it just shows up as I'm scrolling through.
'Cause you're a man.
some
That's
reels.
why. That's why. Because you're a man. That's what they do.
I know, but I'm just saying that's why, like it is a targeted attack on Christianity
Yeah.
and morals, the Christian morals from the Jewish people, and that's not anti-Semitic to say that because the proof is in the pudding. They own all of them, all of them.
Well, talking about that, here's more craziness happened. Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from the Shark Tank. Okay, massive. It's his data center actually was approved by a county commission in Utah last night. 40,000 acres with 2.5 times the size of Manhattan. And the commission approved the proposal despite opposition from hundreds.
From the entire city, Chad.
Oh, my God.
Do you realize that you could put 250,000 homes on that same plot of land? 250,000 homes. They wouldn't be big homes, but you could with space, you could 250,000 people could live on that plot of land. And you don't think they're already in a drought? You don't think they're going to run out of water within a year?
Bro, it's going to be nuts. And the pollution involved too. Let's listen to this. Check this out. Viewer discretion, please be advised. Get ready. Coming to a town hall near you.
False. All of this is false. Then why won't they let people talk? Why won't they let us ask questions? It's false. This is not real information. And we sit here like it's okay. It's a charade. It's a charade. It's false.
Hang on, pause it real quick. Do you think this video is AI asking for a friend? Look at fingers and toes.
False.
All of them are against this.
Yeah. And it is nuts, Chaz. This is going to be the greatest hoax ever perpetrated on the American people because it is going to destroy our country. And it's going to turn us into a dystopian surveillance state with no water, no food, no groceries, no gas. Like, I mean, these data centers and these AI centers, it is global warming times a gajillion turned propaganda on its head. Like it is the biggest scam, and it is going to destroy the places where they put them. Like, and they're one of the biggest ones is in Abilene, 2.5 hours away from me. It is going to destroy this country if they continue to because this is the reality. Oh, they're going to have closed circuit circulating water. Bullcrap. It's not how it works. They're gonna put all this money back into the towns and the communities. Never gonna happen. It didn't happen with the solar farms. It didn't happen with the turbine farms. The only people that put money back into the community are the oil companies. That's supposed to be the most dirty, right? It is going to destroy this country. I'm telling you right now, man, it's not good.
Check this out. So this is Shipwreck. This is a pretty good one here. Let me see.
She cusses in this too.
Oh yeah, this is one that I think you or Jennifer
Vote, vote, vote. We need to go vote. We're going to lose midterms. We're going to lose midterms. Get your ass up. We need to go vote. It's the least that you can do. It's your civic duty. Go vote. Go vote. Go vote. Conservative Inc. all up in my timeline. Make sure we go vote. The black pillars are going to cost us midterms. Candace Owens going to cost us midterms. Tucker Carlson going to cost us midterms. Bitch, we had an auto pen run the entire presidency of Joe fucking Biden. An auto pen, meaning somebody else ran that presidency, okay? And now we've got the saviors in their red hats in charge, okay? And do you think that they found out who was running it? Do you think that they put it out there? Do you think that they had them arrested? Did they hold them accountable? Who was running Joe Biden's administration then? Who was doing it? Okay, somebody come out and say it and then hold that person accountable. Because what had happened was a bunch of people went out and voted for Joe Biden and they didn't get Joe Biden. Not that I agree, okay? But you didn't get Joe Biden. Why are you more pissed off about this? Oh, because we got aliens coming. There's an alien war that is happening, supposedly, under the water between two species over us. And we're out here just counting steps, screaming about Deja! Damn Bongino. Midterms! We gotta stay focused on midterms! Midterms! None of this, you didn't do anything. Joe Biden's presidency, it's you hung a photo of the auto pen on the wall. And that's it. They were like, it was all fake. But we're not gonna do anything about it. Gas is gonna level out at $5 a gallon on average across the country. Okay, in June. You want me to talk to you about the Strait of Hormuz? I don't even know what the fuck that is. I barely graduated high school. I don't know what that is. I've had to Google the most stupidest tasks just to learn how to do them. Do you think I give a shit or even know what the Strait of Hormuz is? I can't fucking argue with people about that. I shouldn't have to know what the fuck that is. I should be able to just go get gas and a pound of fucking hamburger and not have to worry about whether or not that's gonna break my bank for the rest of the week. I ain't voting for shit anymore. I am not voting. I would rather scoop my own eyes out with a spoon and hand them to you and walk around the rest of this life blind as fuck.
Now, I can't agree with her on the vote on not voting. Everybody needs to go vote. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is, you're right to do that. Okay, do not ever stop voting. Okay.
Well, and to that point, Chaz, if we just stop voting, then we literally just give them control, right? I mean, they have control no matter what. But if we don't vote, then I go back to what I said in 2020. If you don't vote, then you don't have any room to bitch and complain because you didn't even cast a ballot to have your voice heard. But she brings up so many points that I personally have been bringing up, but we have been bringing up together. Right. Where is the accountability? It has been proven that Joe Biden's presidency was controlled and dictated by an auto pen. There hasn't been one single arrest, Chaz. Not one. There hasn't been one single person held accountable. Not one. The Epstein stuff, I don't think nothing's ever going to happen to Epstein because either Trump is directly implicated or everyone Trump knows and everyone that ever gave Trump money is on those lists and he will not let them come out.
It's that one. I truly believe in my heart. And also, if he was on the island and did something crazy, man, it would already come out. I think we both can agree with that. It's his friends. It's the ones that he told Marjorie Taylor Greene. And by the way, I'm glad you're bringing this up because, we saw the video of her speaking and so forth, but she is claiming she's got text messages directly from the president of the United States, and she releases it. She's afraid she'll go to jail. But I'm going to tell you right now, she's got the receipts. What are you going to say to that? It came from Trump, okay? People need to understand that when people say something that, if they say Trump is involved or doing this and doing that, they don't know what they're talking about. However, some people like to live in a dream world. It's time to come back to earth, okay? It's time to come back to earth. Hello, McFly, come on back to earth. The water's great, okay? Because here's the thing. Everybody in our government completely is compromised by the state of Israel and the Zionist Jews. That's it, period. Take it to the bank. That's what's happened. Look at what's happened around the world. look what's happening in the United States. The average gas price right now, as it stands, last time I looked, I think it's gone up, was $4.15 per gallon. Now they're saying it's closer, like she just said, almost $5 a gallon. Last time I looked at the barrel of oil, Dallas, it was around $120 a barrel.
Yep.
It might be less, it might be more. But I'm telling you right now, it ain't going down, and it's shooting the hell back up. And pretty soon, guess where it's going to be? Easily at $150 a barrel. Now, here's the question I want to ask everybody, including you, Dallas.
Yep.
Here's my question for you. If this is part of the plan, and we obviously are supposed to go through this amount of pain, how long before, Barry, you just beat me to the punch, how long before civil war will be inevitable? When people lose their shit, when they can't afford to take care of their family. Oh, it's part of the plan. I call bullshit. Okay, it ain't part of the plan. It's part of being smart, using your God-given discernment and waking up. Is this part of what we're supposed to do, Dallas? Maybe so. Maybe we are here to wake everybody up and tell the truth instead of, feed you bullshit and lead you down a path where everybody shows their boots and their freaking mask. Okay? Bottom line, people don't even see where they're being took to.
Well, and the comment, civil war is off the table. Civil war is not off the table. We, as a collective in the truther movement, have warded off civil war for the last 5 years. And I can tell you that for a fact, because I don't talk to as many. I was looking, it's 389 is the average, 390 is the average around me in Dallas right now, but that's up 50 cents from just like 4 days ago. Right. But civil war has been on the table from day one. Oh, yeah. And that's what we're trying to point out. The whole psyop of trust the plan. It's part of the plan. Hold the line. Like, we have been staving off civil war. And I can tell you that for a fact, because there are so many groups out there, militias, that have been chomping at the bit to go fix this themselves. And I think that, well, I am fairly confident that we're just a catastrophe or two away, Chaz, or more gaslighting bullcrap coming from the White House. And I'm not even particularly blaming Trump, but the war in Iran is a farce. I mean, we're not kicking the shit out of them, like they say. One of our ships just got turned back. One of our destroyers is like, I'm going to go through it.
Bush.
Yeah, and it made it about halfway through, got hit with a bunch of drones, and they turned them back. We are not destroying. We're not killing.
They're not talking about it. You're right. And people, independents are having to find this out, and we're being lied to look at common sense. If we were beating them as bad as we're being told, then why the hell are we still here?
Yeah, it'd be over. It would have been over in 10 days, and we would have been out. This is my thing with, if Trump isn't guilty, and if Trump is not in the files, he's only protecting his friends. Well, he's protecting child rapists and pedophiles and ritualistic murderers and cannibals. And that, that is not okay. That is not acceptable. If you're protecting your friends and they took part in any one of those things, if not all of them, then that you are just like, that's called guilt by association. And there are a whole lot of people in prison right now for just being in the wrong car with the wrong dirt bags and getting lumped into a bunch of crap that they had nothing to do with. If Trump is not releasing these files because he's protecting his friends that took part in any of what I just listed, then shame on Trump. And that right there is enough for me to cut him off forever, because that is unacceptable. If you rape, murder, eat, traffic
Isn't
children
that
and
what we were
women.
in this for? Didn't we start this because of the children?
So the argument of he's not in the files, he's just protecting his friends, is bullshit. That does not fly with me. He is just as guilty. He's just as culpable. So
And
you know
she's
how
got-
you get ahead of
and
this,
Marjorie
Trump?
Taylor Greene's got the receipts that he said this. This is
I
that's what's crazy.
know.
I'm telling you.
There's tons of proof out there, Chaz. You know how Trump gets ahead of this? Release the damn files and start arresting pedophiles and dirtbags and cannibals and start making a difference. Do what you said you were
Dallas,
going to
that's
do.
not part of the plan. You ever heard that? It's not part of the plan. Who knows what's part of the plan? Nobody does.
Yeah.
See, that's the fact, Jack.
Anybody
right there.
saying that they know what the plan is full of shit, Chaz.
Yep.
I don't care who you are. If you're not in the Oval Office, if you're not in the Pentagon, if you're not in those meetings, you don't know shit. And I'm sorry I'm cussing, but it just pisses me off when people talk crap about us because we're just pointing out these weird inconsistencies and threaten us and threaten our families. And all we're doing is pointing out the fact that the rhetoric doesn't match what's actually happening. And that concerns me because what's actually happening is about to put us into a dystopian 1984 surveillance state where 2 + 2 = 5. And if you don't agree with that, then you go to a rehabilitation camp until you agree to it. We're this close.
Now, we never said Trump was a pedophile. What we said was that Trump protects his pedophile friends.
And that's the problem, Chaz, is people don't freaking listen. I never said Trump was a pedophile. What I said is what Chaz just said. If Trump is protecting his friends and his friends took part in pedophilia, rape of children or women, ritual, satanic ritual abuse and murder, if they took part in that and Trump is protecting them, then that makes him just as guilty. I never said Trump did any of those things. But if he's protecting his friends and his friends did those things, in a court of law, he would be guilty. What is that? It's not conspiracy, but it's like when you help somebody commit a crime.
Accessory?
Yeah, accessory.
Well, switching now to shapeshifters.
Let's go. Sorry for the rant. Sorry for the cussing.
And here's the thing. Somebody in the chat said, man, y'all talk about this every single day. Yeah, because it's our job to. Because people need to wake up and think for themselves and not be sheep and follow what everyone else is saying when there's no truth to back it up. When we're sitting here saying, man, well, here's the fact points right here. You can go look it up yourself. But you know what the sad thing is, Dallas? Conditioning. Conditioning to folks that have been had. Conditioning to folks that when they find out the truth, they get pissed off. Or there's another lie made in order to tell the tale.
If we don't talk about this stuff every day, Chaz, eventually it stops getting talked about. And that's a fact. That's how the propaganda machine works. Nancy Pelosi spelled it out. She explained how it works. And she also explained how they kill them, how they kill the bad, the truth when they just kill it with a lie. So if we stop talking about it, then eventually it stops getting talked about. And I refuse to stop talking about the corruption in our government, the pedophilia, the child abuse, the trafficking. I refuse to stop talking about those things.
Yep. Amen. Amen. So this is shape shifting, supposedly live on air. Wow. This is showing like Laura Ingraham. Let's check this out.
Fox TV host Laura Ingraham possibly caught shape-shifting live on air. While watching Fox News Channel, I saw a momentary transformation that I captured on video. Laura Ingraham's face, specifically her mouth area and eyes, distorted for about 2 seconds. It wasn't just a simple glitch. It looked like a transformation. I could see what appeared to be a lizard-like tongue and about 3 rows of teeth as her eyes rode back into her head. Please look at the full video on my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Shape shifting.
Well, apparently they're amongst us, Chaz. And Shipwreck, there is a war. The Greys and the Whites, the Nordic Whites.
Yeah.
Two different alien groups that are fighting over us. And Trump is about to announce it. He's about to bring it out, supposedly.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's way more
They're
important.
coming out on Epstein Island. Mark my words. Watch. It'll be connected somehow. This is wild. Viewer discretion, please be advised on this one. Check this one out.
The real truth that all of us are sort of ghosting around is about this knot or web of power that is able to control us. And it don't matter if you have Kamala Harris as president or AOC or Donald Trump or Bobby Kennedy or J.D. Vance. That power is going to do what it always does. And intuitively, the motion I come up with is the movement of a snake, a serpent on its belly, coiling through and around time.
I think that there is something bigger. I feel like we got a little peek at it with the Epstein files, where there is something that supersedes governments. And, Israel might be the action arm, I guess, or the front men for that to some way. To some extent, for what we do in the Middle East, is it big business? Is it the bankers? I don't know. But I think we did get a glimpse with the way that Jeffrey Epstein was killed in prison. And then the things that we've seen in the Epstein files. I think the best thing we could do right now from a government perspective is just release the files completely unredacted, let it all go out there so that the whole world can have some transparency. And so we don't think, because like right now, it looks like our government is protecting that. And I think that's wrong. The American people voted for transparency. They should get that. It does seem like there is some serpentine element that's hard to place that is controlling, constantly driving us towards these conflicts, promoting the next crisis after crisis. And maybe that's just the nature of the way things are right now in the times that we live in. But again, I would say that had we not seen the Epstein files, and had we not seen what happened with Epstein, and seeing how strong President Trump was.
They said he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars.
Against these foreign wars, against the corruption, against the deep state, and then to see him turn on a dime.
We're going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground.
I think there's a lot more declassification and sunlight that needs to be brought to our government right now, especially what's taken place in the last year or so.
And see, people need to understand what we're talking about is taking down the cabal. See, that's what we care about. We want the cabal taken down to. Malevy in 9876 says, whatever happened to the good old days where PPN talked about the takedown of the cabal? That's what we're talking about.
That is literally what we're talking about.
You're exactly right. And, unfortunately, the cabal goes to not just Democrats, but also Republicans as well. It's not limited. And it goes much beyond that. They're actually the puppet masters, just like he was describing with the serpents and some.
Yeah. Why are we in Iran right now? Why did we invade a sovereign country of Venezuela? Why are we threatening to invade Cuba? Why? Those are the three last countries that didn't have a central bank, a Rothschild central bank. Those are the last three. Somehow Trump is invading the last three countries on the planet that didn't have a Rothschild central bank. Who controls, like, where does the cabal get their power and their control? Through the Rothschild central banks. And we're invading the three countries that didn't have a Rothschild central bank. And when I say we, I mean President Trump. So you want to know where the cabal is? I'm not saying, but I'm just saying it looks weird. It doesn't add up.
Yeah. Well, if you don't like any of what we've been talking about, you definitely not going to like this. Listen up.
Part of the problem that we're seeing, people that are pretty well known and have platforms, and then they become Christians and they're kind of working out their theology in real time, but their followers are following them and then treating them more like a pastor who's kind of discipling them, which is not the way to do it. You want to, even when the Apostle Paul got saved, he disappeared for a few years, got his head on straight, and then he emerged to start preaching and teaching. And so it's good to take a little time, and it's good to be under godly spiritual authority, have a pastor who knows the Bible, and before you start sort of speculating, make sure you know what you're talking about.
Amen. I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's exactly what's going on, Dallas, with everybody out there.
A lot of it. And then the other part of that is that you have this Rothschild Rockefeller Bible teaching that has brought in this Zionist, we've got to protect Israel, we've got to protect the Jews theology that isn't correct and isn't biblical. So you have two spiritual entities fighting each other, and neither one of them necessarily are correct. The reality is that the Jewish tribes, because there were 12 tribes, the Jewish tribes were the ones that were separated and set apart were the sons of Abraham, or the descendants of Abraham, which went all the way to Jesus. And when Jesus died and resurrected, he completed the original promise to Abraham, and he created a new oh my God, I just lost the word, covenant with the flesh. The old covenant was the promise of Abraham and the 10 commandments, which were written on stone. And he destroyed the heart of stone and gave us a heart of flesh through the renewing of the spirit, the renewing of the heart, when we profess our sins and ask for the Holy Spirit to dwell within us. That's a new covenant. The children of Israel are those that believe in Jesus Christ. All through the New Testament, all through Ephesians, all through John, all through Mark, Ecclesiastes, it talks about the children of Israel are no longer from the line of Abraham. They are those that believe in the resurrection and the saving power of Jesus Christ. We Christians are the new Israel. It is not a plot of land in the Middle East. It is those that believe in Jesus Christ, and that was corrupted going back into the beginning of the Schofield Study Bible that was commissioned and distributed and paid for by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers as they infiltrated all of our seminaries and Bible colleges. You know that all the Ivy League colleges that we now hold in high regard, like Yale and Harvard, those were all Bible colleges originally. Mm-hmm. And then the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers went in there and they started dumping all their money, and they changed the teachings. They changed the curriculum. They changed the medical teachings. They changed the science teachings, and they changed the religious teachings.
Yep.
And that's, again, all factual. Go look it up. Do some research for yourselves. It is not hard to find.
By the way, this is kind of crazy what I'm about to show, and we'll end with this. This is a United Airlines.
Oh my gosh, I saw this yesterday. Yeah.
It crashes into this delivery truck. Check this out. This is absolutely ultra scary. I don't know if the dude survived or not, but yeah, he was injured. Thank God. Whew. Lucky, man. Lucky. Yeah.
That might be one of the most terrifying videos I've ever watched, because he's just driving down the road and then he gets hit by the wheel of it, by a plane. I mean, it was connected to the plane, but he gets hit by the wheel. It's crazy.
We have so much other news and things that are coming out right now. Megyn Kelly, woo, she went off on that Piers Morgan show.
Yes.
You know what? Screw it. If you got a couple minutes,
yeah.
Here, let's just play it and let's get some thoughts from the crowd here. Check this out.
That's been one of the main sticking points in actually having a ceasefire ever since. Israel at every turn turns to warlike behavior, more deaths of civilians. Look at the journalists who are being killed in Lebanon, not to mention the children who are getting bombed. Some of it is on camera. And every time just says, oh, well, we tried not to. Well, I listened to that. I listened to that for a good year, 2 years. And now I see you doing it in a location after location, and Lebanon and Beirut is starting to look like Gaza, and you're unapologetic about it, and you won't work with us. And you definitely goaded our president into this, though he has agency and is equally to blame. And now I'm sick of it, and I don't care. And I think Tucker doesn't care, and I think you don't care, and sane people don't care. Call me whatever the hell you want. I don't care. I've been called a bigot by the trans people. I've been called a racist by the BLMers. I've been called now an anti-Semite by you folks.
Yeah, it's the same tactic, isn't it?
Truly disgusting person, or I just have political takes based on reality that are mainstream. This has been a disaster for the Trump administration and for our country and for the world. I mean, the global fuel supply, just take a look at the numbers. You've got American, European airlines, Middle East airlines now completely revamping their forecast for this year. We reported this morning that American Airlines had projected a $4 billion profit expected this year. It's all been wiped out. They said the entire thing has been wiped out by the rising price of jet fuel. Spirit Airlines just went over here in America. They were already struggling for years, but this didn't help. And all of that's going to eventually get passed on to the consumer. So, and that's just one example. That's airline fuel. I mean, forget prices at the actual gas pump and the cost of oil in general, which tends to skyrocket energy and other prices. All of that's coming, even if we end the war today. So, my best advice to the president would be give the Iranians the deal they want. They seem to be willing to deal on the Strait of Hormuz, which of course is an absurd place to be. It was open before this war. If we had just left them alone, we would never have this problem. But give them a deal to get that thing back open, because it does need to open back up. And let them give you a fig leaf on nuclear ambitions. Because look, we already devastated their ability to develop a nuclear weapon back in June with the strike on the plants. We know that. We know they were nowhere near getting a nuclear bomb from our own intelligence community, who told that to President Trump just before we unleashed this war on them. So we don't need much from the Iranians on that front. They haven't gotten better able to produce a nuke as a result of this war. Just get out. Let them give us some stupid fig leaf that we can declare as somehow a victory. Oh, it's better than Obama's joint, agreement. And reopen the strait, which is the number one thing. You did decimate pieces of their military. Great. Call it a win. This is a nightmare. We don't have to get into the specifics. But get out. Just get out.
I agree. Just get out. It's let Israel fight their battle. If they want to continue to bomb them and take the repercussions, cool, let them do it, because it's not the Israel of the Bible. I am so sorry. It is the Holy Land, but the country of Israel is not the Israel of the Bible. It's not God's chosen people. That's not what it is. It is a Rockefeller, Rothschild creation, bought and paid for by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers to create destabilization in the Middle East so that they could profit off of oil and natural resources. That is the modern state of Israel. The modern country of Israel is for profit and for war mongering, period.
By the way, we must be saying something right, because people are going back and researching what we're talking about. I think we had a show, on Friday or Thursday, Dallas. I think it was close to 500,000 views just on Rumble alone. And people are starting to wake up, and they're starting to use their own discernment and research and what we're saying, and being able to cross-reference it actually with facts. That's all we want. We want to be very factual. Not everybody's going to agree with us, but you got to agree if something's a fact instead of speculation. That's the way to go. And
Barry MC. Israel was formed in 1948 by the Rothschilds. Look up the Balfour Agreement. Look whose name is at the bottom of the Balfour Agreement, which was what the King of England signed to give the land to the Rothschilds. Look whose name is at the bottom of the Balfour Agreement.
100%. What's up, Charlie?
In the old days, there was assassinations, but that was messy. So they switched over to character assassinations. So anytime somebody says something that they don't like, all of a sudden there'll be an article in the New York Times and CNN will cover it, and then there'll be congressional hearings. I'll give an example not related to Israel. Madison Cawthorn, young guy in a wheelchair, very right wing. I disagree with him on 90% of stuff, but he just does what seemed like a flippant comment. Oh yeah, there's orgies all the time with and stuff here, and I got invited to it by older Republicans in Congress. Boom, all of a sudden, picture of him in a dress comes out. They literally have a secret file on everyone, and they don't use it until you become problematic, and then all of a sudden there's a leak, and all of a sudden that guy's character is assassinated, and then he loses his next election, and he's eliminated. In the old days, there was assassination.
Yeah, they don't do assassinations anymore. They do it via character assassination.
Public opinion, social media, and the internet. Again, Nancy Pelosi outlined the entire process. She told you in front of God and country in that press conference. We tell a lie, then we leak a lie, and then we have the media propagate the lie, and then we confirm the lie, and then it's the truth. She told us. She told us how it works.
Dallas, as always, they need to put up or shut up. How about that? And,
That's all, Chaz. That's all that I want. I want truth, accountability, and disclosure. That's what I want. Put up or shut up. And if you're not going to put up, then get out of the way. And I don't care who you are.
Amen. Appreciate you, boss.
See you, buddy.
See you, brother. Thanks again. Another one in the box, folks. Appreciate everyone tuning in as you always do. Now, I'm going to direct everybody to something very, very important. Okay. You really want to know what's going on? Are you tired of the BS? Are you tired of being misled? Are you tired of the confusion that's being put out there? Clear it out. Go to join.patriotshoot.com right now for free. The trial, you get to check it out and you get a clear-cut understanding of what's happening as well. Okay. I'm going to encourage everyone. The awakening's taking place. A lot of you are understanding what's going on. A lot of you have a lot of pride, and I'm sorry about that, but pride comes before the fall. God bless Republic of the United States of America, and God bless you, patriots. Without you folks, there is no America or world for that matter. See you tonight. Take care. Hi there, I'm Chaz Carter. Welcome to Patriot Shoot. If you're looking for a censorship-free platform where you can freely express your thoughts and connect with like-minded individuals, then you're in the right place. At Patriot Shoot, we offer more than just a membership. For just $8.99 per month, we provide you with daily intel, weekly giveaways, and access to our exclusive voice chat platform called Patriot Talk, where we have somewhere between 200 to 400 active members just on that alone, discussing a wide range of topics every single day. You'll gain access to our state groups where you can connect with members in your states at a grassroots level. Our community is all about open dialogue and sharing valuable information without the fear of being silenced. Whether it's discussing current events, giving advice, or personal matters, or simply connecting with others on Patriot Shoot, it is the place to be. So what are you waiting for? Join us today. Experience the freedom of speech and just fill out the form below and get started. We cannot wait to have you here with us, and welcome aboard.